So, the 25th of April, we're 3 days away from the 100k party. Currently above the yearly open, which is quite interesting. It might be different on different charts, but um, generally, obviously, like a little bit overbought, uh, but has have been supported. We're kind of just in this like weird phase underneath resistance or at resistance where we're gonna see if we're gonna break up towards December 96, 97k or have a little bit of a rejection and come back down to sort of like, I mean, if we have a rejection, we break 90k, then we're probably going to go down to 80, 86, 87, which I think would be pretty healthy for the market. Um, if we were to come down this area to be retested, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. If we hold that, it's going to be giga bullish. If not, we could see week open in March. I think there'll be a lot of bidding, maybe like a big wick through into Q2, and then we want to see that, and then yeah, it just depends how much the long to short ratio goes up down there. But yeah, it's still looking good. And yeah, in the local price action, damn, I'm lagging so hard this morning. So yeah, we're kind of going sideways and being supported right now, which is quite good for Bitcoin. We have had some like really local breakdowns and breaks up, but I'd say in general the level is kind of there, and then that's going to be the low now, 90, just under 92. And yeah, the yearly open is going to be the inflection point. So there is a nice little scalping range forming for all of you scalpers. Um, where obviously this is the midpoint, this is going to be the high, and this is going to be the low. Possibly, like if we do that, it might come slightly further into here as like a little short-term downtrend, and then maybe do one more. Who knows? But yeah, there's a nice little range forming that you could scalp it out there. In general, I think the trajectory is obviously still up. We do have some sort of Stuber, which I'm not sure if it's played out yet or not. Yeah, it seems to have caught it quite nice. We're currently above support right now, though, so uh, yeah, as long as this can like sort of stay above its yearly open or go a bit sideways, I think we could see another little pop to December just with the amount of shorting that's going on in the market right now. Um, yeah. Saying that, ooh, a couple nice moves in the market. Saying that, I think I did actually pull off a little short. Yeah. So I caught a little short here and might have been stopped out on it actually. No, yeah, maybe 170. I had it at 171, but I tightened it up to 170 after this. So I might have been stopped out on this small short, which wasn't meant to be anything crazy to be honest. It was just a little scout. Um, but yeah, there were loads of these Stubers setting up yesterday because we made like a new low on the 15 minute and then come up to make the high. And then all they did was kind of dump like what 2 to 5%, 2 to 4%. So another one was Link, yeah, which really didn't dump that much and is now holding. So I obviously now I'm not really looking to short this too much. That was just an idea to possibly come back down towards the larger long Stuber pocket, which is obviously still in play, but I think it's just looking pretty strong at the moment. And yeah, it was worth a try for me personally because if you look at this, obviously we have the equal high. I pulled from here to here, the low, and then yeah, caught it there, and then we've just kind of done that. So if I'm not stopped out in those positions, I'll probably exit them after the stream. But I was only on 3x, and the risk was like 1 to 1.5%, so not the worst. And yeah, it's kind of just a hedge from the longs I got off the lows on FET, which is doing amazingly, by the way. beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Long off the lows here, and yeah, Injective also hit $10, which I think I said yesterday. It did it really quick, so it's kind of like musical chairs at the moment in the market. Like this one's going to pump 20%, and then this one's going to pump 20%, and then this one's going to pump 20%. So, um, if you're trying to like trade the volatility right now, obviously, uh, the 3 to 15 minute are going to be very fun with the stupid fibs. They're not always going to work, but it's fine. And yeah, what you kind of want to do is you want to, instead of trying to chase all these different coins, like, oh, this one's now pumping, or this one's now pumping, kind of just nail one coin that not necessarily hasn't really pumped, but just nail one sort of setup. So, for example, Pepe on the hourly looks to have made a lower low here, and we kind of seem like we're coming up to the high. Now, I know it's not really an area to short, but still, if the setup's there and the risk is fine, you could possibly take it. And the reason why is because, look, we've got a combination band, we've got the November level, and we've got the pocket just up above. So this sort of November to 786 area is a very tight area where you could potentially try and get just a little scalp down into here. Um, if you're going to do something like this, especially going against the market with shorting, I advise you to just take profit very, very soon. So like 1.5% and then 3% and then, yeah, stop to break even. Let the rest run if you want. But yeah, generally with shorting, just be pretty careful and use low leverage at the moment. Because if you're trying to short something like Popcat, like you've been blown out of the water many times, which I was looking at yesterday as well on this little wick, but I decided not to because I already took Arve and I already took Arve. I only took Arve. I didn't actually take Link, so I didn't really want to be too exposed to the short side, um, especially when we're trending up. So yeah, probably would have definitely been better to long sort of these pullbacks on the 15 minute, but if you don't catch them, then look, this was what 5 a.m. 8 a.m. Yeah, no, I'm not awake at 5 a.m., bro. So yeah, I mean, for this sort of little short Friday session, I think maybe we should just go into like some of the low time frames, 3 to 15 minute, and potentially get a couple scalps or a couple scalp setups for now, because I think that's what's going to be the funnest. Um, yeah, I've probably been stopped on that, but that actually looks still relatively decent to possibly come down to Q2. By the way, Arve just hit the 786 at 168. The reason I took this was just because, I mean, you could ladder in there 1.5%, and most of my position was actually towards the 886, so my entry was more like 1688 with my stop just above the high, and it was like 1.2%. I was like, on 3x, I'm just not really going to care if it gets stopped. It was originally at 171, and then I tightened it to 170, I think, so that wick's probably taken me out, unfortunately. But a tiny, tiny loss that no one's really going to care about. Well, I'm not going to care about at all. You just have to be prepared for that, especially when you're going against the trend. Uh, yeah. So Injective, another thing I didn't take, which it did initially actually come off. So if you're initially this was actually a 3 minute scalp for me. Yeah, I probably got out 10 to 20% of my position here. So what did it do? I must have I laddered in 10. Actually, this was a really good example. So I pulled this from there to there on the 3 minute because we broke this really local low, and then I had my orders set from 10.18 to 10.22. So that range is a 0.3% range basically, with the stop above the high. So about 10.25, 10.26. Um, the risk is what 0.7%, and yeah, I think I got maybe 10 or 20% out at 2.5 or 2% or something around here. So the rest of the position's probably been stopped. So probably a tiny profit or maybe a break even, but yeah, I mean that's like a 3 minute. It did kind of play out on the 3 minute. We did what, nearly 3% in an hour and a half. So yeah, there is something, there is, like, you can go against the trend and there is tiny little scalps to be made, but if you are going to do that, you need to be very aggressive with your TPs and your stops. So yeah, we're gonna take that off. And potentially, yeah, so there's another bullish one here. Uh, if we were to come back to the base of the move, and you could even pull a short-term bearish one from here to here if we were to come back up there. Um, so yeah, it goes kind of like if we get up there, you can short with a tiny stop loss there, and then hopefully it comes down either to the daily or into the pocket would be perfect, and then you long, and then your longs your bigger position. But yeah, there is a lot of nice volatility on altcoins at the moment, so it's very good. It's very, very good. So yeah, Sui's an interesting one. I haven't really been interested in shorting or longing this because it's been really nice. I actually tried to get. I think I had an order at like 289, and it just missed it. Just missed it when I was sleeping. So I must have placed it around here, and I wanted to get, yeah, 287, 289 sort of area. But yeah, didn't really get it. So still kind of just wait for this either to start rolling over on an hourly or 4 hour time frame, or yeah, maybe doing some retests on the daily or December. Because look, this is a really aggressive uptrend. Very, very, very aggressive. Breaking lots of structure down here. All of this. We're catching on this. So probably the next level is 420. And if we do get up into here, yeah, I will be looking at potentially doing a short. I mean, I'm probably going to be not really trading a lot next week, but if it did get up to there, it's not a bad idea. The range is 3%. Yeah, you kind of probably want to watch it on the 15 minute or something and see what happens. But yeah, that's not really going to stop until probably 410, 420. Really nice moves though. Very, very nice moves. So yeah, just again, Render probably played one out quite recently, which was a tap into the 786 here. We didn't quite get to the weekly open, which probably would have been quite nice, but that's quite a very nice regain of the 618 as well. And then yeah, currently above the daily. So if you were in that position, nice. If not, you might get another chance at the daily if you're like really low time frame scalping this. Um, you've actually got three daily levels there. So possibly like fire resistance in there, and then one more pop up tier. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to take a punt at. I don't mind it too much. Render's a nice coin. I've always liked Render, but yeah, we are at quite heavy resistance as well. To note, just to note this. November level's been tapped. Yeah, we look like we're kind of. We might just go sideways for a bit, honestly, and then some coins will pump 10% this day, some coins will pump 10% the next day. Because, for example, like I think I saw Matic pumping yesterday, which never pumps. This coin is really struggling. Like, look, we're down bad. We're down in Goblin Town. For example, today E Gold pumping just off its lows. Take that off. That's probably from ages ago. Um, yeah. So like I said, musical chairs, but a lot faster. What's that done off its lows? 70%, not bad. Actually, not bad. And then yeah, obviously has come to this swing here and found heavy resistance. Actually, perfectly wicked into that. So yeah, this is probably going to come down back and do retest of Q2. So um, any alt that is above its Q2 and has tested the structure above, if it comes back down, sorry, any alt that's broken the Q2 and is tested the structure above, comes back down to the Q2, could make for a potentially interesting long. Just be careful because a lot of people are probably thinking the same thing, as this move has been so fast and violent up to the upside, and a lot of people aren't allocated. That when we do come down, there's going to be a lot of longing. So expect wicks, shenanigans, lick grabs, all that sort of stuff, all that sort of jazz, all that sort of jazz. Yeah, and potentially even front runs as well. So Tia hasn't hit any orders that I've set. Potentially for someone like me who's gonna be away for a week or two, potentially not trading too much. I think maybe the safest thing for me to do would be to just set 3x bids a lot lower in the price action. So, for example, I'd feel comfortable longing dot back down at this overlapping support if it were to get there. The area, if I was on the charts that I'd be watching with interest, is this little pullback. However, we are kind of just step laddering higher, so you obviously don't want to bet short just now. It's just if we got to here and then did the retrace in the next week, I would be able to catch some allocation. Um, Maybe not specifically dot trade itself, but maybe more something like Arve, which could go for a retest anywhere, sort of like in here, which would also be this like mini block there, or potentially in there. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't really want to get caught too offside. Get a yellow card while I'm away, but yeah, again, if this were to start failing now, so failing March, like Link, it would be quite safe to say that we're probably going to do 13.8 and then sort of like 13.5 to 13. And that would actually not be a bad area to try and ladder something in. I mean, yeah, about 3.5%. It's something. It's something for sure. Oh, that definitely didn't play out. Many scribbles. So, does anyone have anything potentially interesting for me to look at? Or are you guys trading anything? Do you want me to rate your trade setup on a scale of 1 to 10? If you post a chart and or something, which might be quite fun because in that way, I know you guys are all probably pretty decent traders so far, but um, that way we all get to see potential setups and I can also give you maybe a little bit of advice on what I think. If not, I'll just continue to go through some of this stuff. Yeah, so something like this, which you can see very clearly after a big pump, FET breaking down on the lower time frame, would be this high to this low, very significant break of structure, with some overlapping supply here. Obviously, you just get the fib out. This is your area. What do you know? It's been caught. I bet the combination band will be in there. What do you know? The combination band's there. Obviously, a good area for potentially scalp out a short. And the reason like this stuff is really nice, especially on alts, is your range is obviously less than 1% that you're trying to average into, and your stop's probably going to be 1.5, 2 at a stretch. 2 is if you really want to not try and not get lit grabbed. And if you ladder in from the 786 into the 886, your position ends up sort of being like here to there, and it's more like 1.5%. And then as soon as it comes back down like here, so what your position's in there, you're already 2% down. You can take 10% off and just tighten the stop loss, and you're just chilling. You're honestly just chilling. So yeah, this is a really good example of something which is you could micro short against the trend, and then potentially if you go like to the hourly, potentially you could see a larger breakdown from sort of like here into there, 8%. You know, if you come all the way to the base of the move, then you're looking at a great trade, and then you can long down here, which is probably what everyone wants to do right now. I just have a thing. I just don't want to long like up here, and I kind of just missed it the last couple of days. I haven't been. I kind of missed the move. So I mean, I didn't miss the move on FET, and you know, had a link long, but I just sold it way too early. So yeah, it's all right. It's what it is. There's always more. There is always more, and the market never goes anywhere. In Long, only 25% left in. Nice, bro. Looking good. Yeah, I would say just hold that. Like, hold that 25%. You've obviously taken nice amounts of profit, and you're in good profit. Your stop's probably in profit. I would just say, like, you know, unless your entry's here, and you start breaking this, when anyway your stop should probably be up here. Just hold it. Like, you're probably gonna go up to here. So nice. And even if you're in from here, your stop's probably in break even, so you're just chilling. It's just all round a very good idea. Just all round very good. Just keep in mind that we are giga overbought. Giga, and this is probably going to bear div at some point. But it doesn't mean it has to stop. It's a very strong uptrend. We're gaining levels going higher. Sui's also a really good blockchain. Has a lot of use case. Has a lot of adoption. Has a lot of building. Yeah. I mean, what more could you want? What more could you want? So yeah, potentially hype. Yeah, so hype has a really nice overlapping demand, sort of long there. Yeah, I still like hype to go slightly higher, maybe into $20. Is this? Can you guys still hear? Oh, Wi-Fi, please. From previous daily open, the only bonus from being in the Asia market. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna come trade Asia with you. I mean, not with you, but I'm gonna be in Asia in the Asian session soon. See what it's like. I am gonna get a little taste of it. Yeah, the only thing about moving away from London is the we just are the best time zone. What can I say? We're literally the former center of the world. Language, politics, all of it. I don't like, to be honest, the Asian market. You mean you don't like the Asian market? Yeah, I don't like the Asian market either. I do not like the Asian market either. So yeah, this is what I mean about the musical chairs. Like what Floki now, Floki's going. So Floki's pumping now. Even after actually having a minor breakdown, uh, like that, doesn't really matter. Why? Oh, that's the price, man. So yeah, things are just sending. So that's actually a pretty mean back test. So yeah, interesting around March, but I wouldn't just haphazardly short this randomly with like orders. Definitely not. Um, yeah, what's Tia doing? Oh, hold on. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't have orders there. I had orders down here. Yeah, Tia looks good. This is actually gonna break up. This is gonna break up because we've gained this swing. This is there. We've done the back test. We've done the high high actually, and we're above the daily. So yeah, this is gonna squeeze up into Q2 quite soon. I'm not gonna get my orders filled down here. Probably not, but hey ho, they're still in, and we'll see what happens with that. Let's have a look at Popcat. We haven't had a look at Popcat today. The old Popcat in. So this is something that you want to pay attention to. Politics. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Not anymore, but we were the center of the world. Now we're just a former shell. But anyway, the London time zone is just unreal. It's so good. Literally goated time zone. Doesn't get better. Yeah, so Popcat keeps sending up. Just the trading. Yeah. Asia's a bit scammy, isn't it? A little bit scammy. So Popcat is doing really well. And yeah, looks so broken out of its accumulation just here. It'll be interesting to see. I think this is going to be an area of resistance, of course, in between June and May. But if we were to come back down and retest sort of like 3-4 now to, you know, 3-2, 3-4, I think that's a very, very strong regain of uptrend. And yeah, it just looks really good, doesn't it? Um, Sort of in the micro time frame, because Popcat does love to trade really well on the micros. I mean, you had the long there, potentially caught you all the way up to here from the high. Um, we're currently just middling a bit. That probably got caught. Yeah, I would say there's not really a concrete trade on this at the moment. Yeah, not really too much to say. You just don't want to short it, do you? Like, it's obviously, this 4 hour is obviously looking a little bit knackered, but we do have the hidden bullish, which means continuation. I guess we've kind of already got the higher high so far, and it's going to build bear div. But yeah, you just don't want to. You just don't want to short this yet. If anything, yeah, long reclaim. Nah, nothing really there for me at the moment. Nothing really there. Solana looks really good. Looks really good actually. Another entry that I got absolutely spot on, but just sold way too early. Um, and I only got half of my position in from 97 to 93 because we only went down to 95, so my bigger orders down below didn't get hit. But I mean, the entry was there. The entry was pretty goated. I think I sold most of it around 130 because I was like, I'm pretty happy with this trade. It was like 30, 40%. You know what? Like, I can't be too mad at that, can I? In terms of the next move on this, it's looking pretty good so far. It's potential that you could long this breakout, even though I don't really like breakout longing, especially when we're bear dipping so hard. This is probably going to go higher. I mean, we're above the highs. We didn't really break the lows down here. It's just, yeah, it's squeezing up. We've got overlapping support now. Looking pretty good. Retested March, retested the Q3. Like, it's pretty much, it's done everything. Q3 retested, March retested on that candle. Q4 was support, broke above it, doing the retest now. It's probably going to send after this. So, the way that you could actually make this work is to just really micro long this level. And if you drop that level, you're probably going to go down back down to the overlapping support in here. And if you don't break this low, so maybe like you just do a wick and then you do that, it's possible that you could long that and just take profit at the Q4, and then if you gain, then you've got a great position in. But definitely very interesting, and I really like this 4 hour chart. I think this is very, very strong, and Sol has obviously had a lot of buying on the way down in here. I think a lot of accumulation. As people don't really care about ETH that much, they kind of hate it. They kind of hate ETH at the moment, which we actually haven't looked at ETH quickly. Again, I had the Stuba drawn, but it's just looking super weak. It didn't even get up there, let alone have any sort of pullback. It is still intact, by the way. Let me just reverse that, just because the 886 comes in at the Q2. But yeah, this is also potentially interesting for a long, just if we hold this daily open. We also have overlapping support. And, you could put your risk at, what, like 1%. It's not that deep at all. Potentially try and catch something on that. Although on the hourly is looking a little bit like it might break down. But that's okay. What you seeing on PAX 4 hour daily? This thing just obviously is just ripping. Oh, it's not ripping anymore. Oh yeah, this is a significant break of structure. And we just bearishly retested the weekly open. So if anyone saw that, we obviously have now a Stuba at the high, but it would take quite a lot to get back up to the highs now. I like that bearish retest. I like that bearish retest. Actually, to be honest though, PAX G is obviously tied to gold, and it loves to do what the S&P does, which is break structure and then regain and just go again. So let's see how many times it does it. So break structure, regains, just goes again. That's not a breaker structure, it's a support. Breaker structure doesn't even regain, just goes again. Um, it could be the same thing here. Breaker structure from here, regain, and then, well, I guess it needs to regain the weekly open and go again, but interesting. I mean, if you caught the short from the weekly open, then you're chilling, and you could possibly even hedge along off this support just here, because there's a really easy invalidation, and it's just below the low. So yeah, 0.6 ish stop. obviously targeting the highest Uber fib pocket. But yeah, that would rely on us gaining back the weekly open. So if you gain the weekly open, you're either going to find resistance on the pocket or you're going to just continue. I wouldn't really bet against this just because gold's going crazy right now. But yeah, just to keep in mind that the Q2 is untested to the downside, just like Bitcoin. So yeah, pretty interesting. Actually, pretty interesting one. Yeah, on the daily, if it retested Q2, not a bad area. Not a bad area at all. Griffin struggling with March. Yeah, let's have a look at Griff. Cetus was already also doing really well. I need a better chart. Yeah, so really nice spike up on Griffin, obviously at the major resistance level, and this is also the major resistance level. So yeah, if we were to get a squeeze into this and then come down and we find March as support, that would be very, 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 very nice. Right now, I think it looks pretty decent because we've done the retest of these lows. So this low, obviously held us down here. We kind of popped back above it and then bearishly retested that there. Now we've broken out of the accumulation, back tested it once, and then held this high here. So really good so far. Probably just gonna sort of like squeeze up into here and then have like a larger sort of cool off period. So like maybe like that, then maybe it squeezes into an ascending formation or something random. Um, Because with things like this, there's gonna be selling and shorting on this level. So every time we come up and hit it, and then come back down, and then come up and hit it, and come back down, we're probably just gonna build up all the shorts until we go and just rip them all. Yeah, not looking bad, not looking bad at all. It would be nice to just farm out a little bit of a range structure in between, sort of like here, just for a little bit. Just give everyone a little breather. Give everyone a little breather. But yeah, in general, the lower time frames are your friend at the moment, just with all the volatility, and yeah, we're probably going to go back into a short term range or a little trend down soon. Like the higher we just shoot straight up on Bitcoin, the harder we're going to come down and hunt that 83k stuff on the way back down. But again, injective on the 4 hour, I don't think this is going to stop until maybe in this area here. So even like the really micro, this is like really micro trading on the short term. That was a nice retest there this morning, yesterday morning at 9:45. Bull div, retest, lovely. But yeah, watch for the fastest horses or the strongest coins at the moment because when we do pullbacks, they're probably going to be the ones that you want to keep an eye on. So Sui, Popcats are also really strong. Some other things have done good moves off their lows just because they're really volatile, but in general, if you're looking at like large altcoins, um, you obviously want to look for the strongest or the fastest horses and pay attention to those. This is just going to keep squeezing. This is near. But yeah, I think I'm actually gonna leave it here today. Keep it short and sweet. I've also got to sort out a couple of things before the airport. So yeah, gents, I will speak to you not next week, but I'll try and do some streaming in Malay, KL, and I hope you have a great weekend. And I'll speak to you soon. I'll be not active in the chats next week, but the week after I'll be extremely active. Extremely active. So, cheers, gents. Have a great weekend. Set some alerts, set some stubers, use the stops as always, and yeah, you're all legends. I hope you hit some juicy trades. See you later, boys.